dude, have you, it's kind of, I don't know, was, were we, online dating was a big thing when we were younger, was it?
Dude, my wife and I were just talking about this.
Yeah.
There was such a stigma attached to it. Like you were a full send dork.
Oh yeah.
Dated online.
Yeah. Or a stalker.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
Had a weird,
yeah.
like weirdos are the ones that hooked up online. Now it's ubiquitous.
That's actually not, I mean, well, at least the sample size back then makes sense. Because I remember, because this was the MySpace days, right? And then I just stopped doing any social media after that. But I remember MySpace. I probably went on a date with 2 girls that I met on MySpace, right? Which, I'm not going to say I was catfished because appearance-wise, it wasn't much different, right? But, and I felt weird at the time because it was like, I mean, you don't know. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, how do you know I'm not going to kill you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I
ask her that.
I was like, every murder and date starts the same. Like, hey, do you want to go somewhere with me at night alone in my car? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it's all the same thing. You know, it's just the end point that's a little bit different.
Just a little slight switcheroo at the end.
So I was my initial instinct, I wasn't going to murder everybody, but I'm like, my initial instinct was like, who's willing to go out with me on a date knowing nothing more than what I've put on MySpace, which at the time was craziness. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I mean, remember how you could like customize your page?
Of course.
Put music behind it and everything and put crazy stuff on there.
So
and I was,
yeah. So mattered who's in your top 8.
And then even then, I remember what was the dating site that was like that you had to like pay for that matched you? It wasn't Match.com.
Was it? Oh, I was gonna say Match.
No. There was eHarmony. eHarmony. And it was just so lame, you know. I was just like, oh, some old dude, you know. And I'm sure he made a bunch of couples. I'm not like, but I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna enter my stuff into this thing, and that was probably before they even thought about algorithms or whatever.
I think the stigma, like when I talk about like the straight dorks, that like I'm talking like even before MySpace. Like think about the type of people that were like when we were in like high school, and they 99, 2000.
Oh yeah,
like that like it was just the changes from like online culture in 1999 to 2005, that's a big jump, huge change culturally. And then from 2005 to 2000, like every 5 years, the online atmosphere is exponentially different than
sure,
years ago.
Well, and what I was meaning, but like just getting back to those 2 dates I went on, nut jobs, bro. Both of those gals were not. I'm sure they're nice ladies with healthy careers and wonderful families now, but they were nut jobs like at the time. And I was like, whoa, I'm never doing this again. You know what I mean? It like totally got me out of, I just never wanted to do it again. But now,
would you have seen him coming if you'd have met him in person? Like,
yeah. There was personality tells, you know, that you could see quite a ways away.
But like the online version of them, they bamboozled you. And,
and really cool pictures. You know, everybody kind of looks like their best online. And again, aesthetically, there wasn't much difference. That's not what I'm complaining about. But and I'm not even complaining. I just...
People post their highlight reel.
yeah, you should. Dating, you do that too. Like you on a date, it's not like that night out you're going to show the worst qualities of yourself. But it's kind of... I stumbled across this article, and it's a website. They actually have a bunch of products, but
odd or not.
Yeah, everybody close your eyes here. But no, this is from privacyjournal.net, and they did a map of the best and worst states for online dating safety.
Safety.
Safety. So yeah. So the idea here is that if you're going to go online, now they primarily focus, because this is a privacy protection company, and so they primarily talked about romance scams. Okay, so fraud, matches with registered sex offenders, sexually transmitted diseases and violent crimes, whatever. So they took they did their team of researchers on all the factors that might lead to dangerous online dating, and they did per 100,000 residents of each state. Is that per capita is 1,000, right? Yeah, sure. So they weighed all the outcomes and kind of by their relative importance and everything. And so I think for anybody who's prospectively considering going on dates, this seems like some useful information. So I don't know.
Varies by state. Like why, what is the variable that,
although color wise,
look at Utah and Nevada.
Well, right. So color wise, what color do you think is the worst color on there?
Well, black. Yeah. That's 0, right?
So yes. No. So that's the worst. That means like,
no, what you said?
You scored the worst. Yeah. So
I don't see it down there.
The safest state in the
is that purple?
Yeah, the safest state in the country is Vermont, with Maine coming in second.
So is Nevada the worst?
Nevada is the absolute worst. Utah came in 13th. Lucky number 13.
Well, here's a weird thing. I'm sure you're going somewhere with this. Sure. Look at the geography. So like Nevada, Idaho, and Utah are markedly different. We share a border,
right?
Of those 3 states.
Idaho's better than Utah too.
And Idaho's looks like one of the best in the nation.
Right. Exactly. Well, there's some pretty cool facts here.
What is that?
Yeah. So they said, so Vermont, I'll give you, they said this is the best state for singles over 40. So they said the Green Mountain State is a consistent overachiever in quality of life ranking. So it's not surprising to find it topping the list as well. Vermont not only boasts America's lowest per capita rate of STDs, didn't know that, and second lowest rate of reported identity theft, but also ranks no worse than 14th from the bottom on any factor. This most likely because makes Vermont the best state for single women in the U.S. to date online. Imagine that, right?
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I get what they're. So it's not just something about the way they navigate the internet. It's like it's factoring in all the things like quality of life, crime. I wasn't getting that up.
Sure,
I get it.
Maine, they rated the best hookup state in the USA. So if you want to hook up, everybody, go to Maine. And we're not going to do every state, but these are some highlight ones here. But Maine has the lowest per capita violent crime in the United States, with only 103 reports for every 100,000 residents. There's not much research on the relationship between online dating apps and assault, but a lower prevalence of violent crime makes everyone safer, including people dating on the internet. However, though Mainers may not need worry about violent crime or STDs, where Maine scores 3rd lowest, they should watch out for another risk: online dating scams. Our stats show that Maine has the 16th highest rate of romance scams in the United States, with 6 out of every 100,000 people falling victim. So, but I was thinking though, I was like,
so people are gullible because it's so nice.
Is anybody up there hanging out with anybody? It's cold as shit up there, dude.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's why it's safe.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing anything
and haunted. Like every story from Stephen. Yeah,
dude.
Every story from Stephen King is about Maine. It is like, yeah. It's a because you think if like that kind of stuff was happening in like a big city, they'd be like, hey, I wonder why all this these ghosts and shit are around here. So
what about the maniac to Sylvia? He's from there. He's a safe date.
That guy,
champ, heavyweight.
Oh, he was the heavyweight champ. That is for sure.
With his sad belly.
Oh my goodness, that good
was on to you.
He was awesome. I lost a bunch of money on him one time.
Did you? Who'd you bet on?
He was fighting Nogueira, and he almost beat him, by the way. And then
Nogueira choked. You went to that fight. You were there.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, and Nogueira. No, I thought Nogueira, did he choke him or did he break his arm?
I am pretty sure he choked. I thought he choked him.
He may have choked him. Yeah, that's right. But he was, I mean, on the stand-up.
Mir broke Sylvia's arm.
That's right.
That's what you're thinking.
Yeah, that's right. I was like, I'm not going to tap him. Like,
yeah, you should.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah.
You now have 3 joints in your arm.
Yeah, good for you. Those guys. Yeah, remember how he would go to UFC fights in Levi's and wear his belt?
Yeah, I think you go to Smith's like that.
I would, dude. I would.
Everybody would know I was
certain things about certain people. Like if those things happen, I would. If you watch Yellowstone at all,
yeah.
If I was the actor Rip, I wouldn't be that actor anymore. I don't even know that guy's name. I would just be Rip and Sport.
I'm that guy now.
Yeah. I'm always watching that show and I'm like, I wonder what their cowboy hats smell like. Do you see those cowboy? God, they're
rough, dude.
Oh my God. It's like Taylor Sheridan just takes, hey, can you sweat on this? Gives it to a bum for like 3 weeks. But yeah, no, it is kind of this one Nevada, which I don't know, kind of makes sense. But I mean, I didn't pick Nevada as like the worst, but it says we always knew Nevada was the state with the highest risk of blowing your life savings before you leave the airport. But according to our research, it's also the riskiest state for online dating, primarily due to the prevalence of scams. Using a dating app in the Silver State is more of a gamble than anything you can do at Caesar's Palace. For starters, it's got the second highest rate of romance scams, which target 8.1 out of every 100,000 residents, more than twice the rate in Vermont. Nevadans are also third most likely Americans to become victims of fraud and fourth most likely to have their identity stolen.
Do you think that has anything to do with just the kind of the gambling culture and just sort of the, like fast and loose nightlife?
I mean,
unrelated.
I mean, I would say that anything's up for grabs when you walk down a street and illegal immigrants are handing you buckets of porn.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is an absolute.
I mean, anywhere where that level of debauchery is happening.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's even like in, I mean, there's places where there's a lot of trouble to get into and or fun to have. Same thing, I guess, right?
There's sayings made about Vegas specifically for that.
Sure. New Orleans is a prime example. Like if you go to Bourbon Street, I mean, there's a lot of trouble to get in down there, right? But at the same time, it doesn't feel like as dirty as Vegas, if that makes sense. I mean, there's arguably more trouble to get in New Orleans, but it just does. It's like I don't know.
It's made out of sleazy.
Yeah, sleazy is a good description of it. Yeah, that's it. It's more.
Bourbon Street's just like a hell of a fun time.
Yeah, I don't want to call Bourbon Street classy. It's just like feels cultural almost. You know what I mean? It's not like so sleazy and manufactured, with bimbos left and right or whatever. You know what I mean? It just is. Yeah. So there is something unique about Vegas that makes it that. Okay. But the one that was surprising to me was Alaska. I mean, I can't wait to go on vacation in Alaska.
Well, is that a scam? Is that like a lonely people thing also, getting hustled? Is that why Alaska's there?
See, that's what made me wonder, because I was thinking, well, wait a minute, it can't be just that, because if that was the case, wouldn't Maine and Vermont kind of be in the same boat? But it said thanks to high rates of crimes and STDs and its concentration of sex offenders, who knew, the last frontier state is the second most dangerous U.S. state for online dating. Alaska has the second highest violent crime rate in the nation, with 758.9 out of every 100,000 Alaskans reporting assaults every year, nearly 1 out of every 100 people. Alaska also places third from the top in STDs with 1,080 per 100,000 people. That's well over 1% of the population infected. The bad news doesn't stop there. 454 out of every 100,000 Alaskans is a registered sex offender. It even has America's third highest rate of romance scams, which targets 7.9 people out of every 100,000. Dude, who knew about Alaska?
I had no idea.
Yeah, like
it's worth it though. That place is beautiful.
Yeah, I've never been, and I really want to go. I mean, if I could, particularly like if I could go hunting up there, that'd be so cool. But definitely go on some dude, that just is. It's kind of weird because that map. And obviously, we'll put this.
Of course, Florida's crazy.
Yeah, I'll tell you about Florida. The rankings on here, I don't know. It doesn't. There's not a whole lot of like the border states or the coast states. The coastal states are the ones that have. You know what I mean? Like you would think that, and of course, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina are that, but then.
Middle of the country is pretty safe.
Well, look at Louisiana. You would think that would be right up there, and it's not. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And
Middle America's safe.
Yeah. Relatively safe. Yeah. I'm proud of Utah, though. Yeah. Florida already has a bad reputation thanks to the Florida men.
Yeah.
And our numbers for online dating risk factors don't help the situation. Florida is the second worst state in the country for both identity theft and fraud. Makes sense because of all the old people that are dumb down there. And the seventh, well, he said he needs money to get a. And the seventh worst for becoming a victim of romance scams. However, Florida is a decent enough place to get away from the threat of violence from online dating matches. It is in the bottom 10 nationwide for sex offenders and the bottom 15 for violent crime. Oh yeah, well that makes sense, dude. That is not. I think if you have a sex offense in Florida, move is your objective. Like you just need to move out of it.
We learned about that in that documentary.
Oh yeah. So no, but yeah, they didn't have any. They didn't have any specific stuff about Utah. I was kind of looking at that, but one of the things they talked about here was. And we've talked about this before too, is like when you're looking out for online dating scams or what they call romance scams. And these are the things they talked about. Persistent money requests, that seems obvious. I think anytime anybody asking you for money feels weird. Did you hear about that one lady?
We got that whole triple S lesson we did on the grooming catfish thing.
Right.
Yeah, dudes get hustled all the time.
Yeah. There was some lady that gave, she thought she was dating Brad Pitt, gave him a ton of money. Like
Brad Pitt.
I know. Yeah, exactly. So, and cryptocurrency or a gift card instead of a bank transfer, that's a big, huge red flag. If anybody said,
I only accept my rent payment in Bitcoin.
Yeah. Can you send me some Ethereum over for that?
Yeah.
And then excuses not to meet. So this was, so maintaining the illusion obviously is they if they're out of state or whatever, is they not just meet but refuse to video chat as well. So that should be something that you should look for immediately. Is let's set up a video chat so we know you're a real person. So it's not saying don't date online, but elaborate storytelling. This was one that I thought was weird. So romance scam artists are great at fabricating complex backstories that make victims more likely to fall for them and send money. Common elements include abuse, legal trouble, being trapped in a foreign country, or needing money for phone or internet bills so the relationship can continue.
That's so common right there. Yep.
Secrecy and isolation. So to keep friends and family from knowing about them, they discourage them from telling anybody else about the relationship. They provide a fabricated reason. Usually it says such as fear that others won't accept their love. I would say more so like there's always some story of like, oh yeah, I'm a CIA agent or something like that you'll give up my, you'll blow my cover. And then the last one is a false sense of urgency. They rely on bypassing your critical thinking skills and getting you to act on instinct.
So just like I rent's due in 3 days, I'm $500 short. I don't know what I'm going to do. If I get kicked out of one more place, I just don't know what I'm going to do with my kids. I'm like, what am I going to do? And then it's like, tell you what, and they just kind of play on guilt and suck people in that.
Sure. Way. Yeah. But I mean, so geographically, I mean, maybe move to Vermont or Maine, or if you're in Nevada and Alaska, especially Alaska, God, don't go on a date with anybody. Like, sure. Yeah. Not only are you going to get scammed, you'll also get murdered, apparently.
You're better off with the Kodiaks. Safer.
Yeah. I wonder what that is. But I thought Alaska was pretty safe. And who knew there was that many sex offenders up there? But anyway, so hopefully that helps everybody. Watch out for your online dating. Okay. Until next time. All right, that was good.
It was.
Yeah.
I like, this was a good idea.
I thought that shit was crazy. Alaska. I'm like, God, dude, what are you fucking doing up there, dude?
You're kidding. It's kind of weird.
Oh, yeah, I bet we're still